Autoducking or sidechaining is moving from this. I'm recording this voiceover example so you can do this. I'm recording this voiceover example so you can hear it when no autoducking or sidechaining is applied, and then the difference when autoducking or sidechaining is applied. So sidechaining is, or the autoducking is when music automatically lowers its volume whenever the voiceover starts playing. It gives a very good effect so that you can hear the voiceover clearly and loudly. And today I'm going to show you how to do that in DaVinci Resolve 16. I am in a new project in DaVinci Resolve. As you can see on the timeline, I have a video I have downloaded from pixabay.com, and then I have the music, which I have named it as the slave track, and the voiceover, which I have named it master track, and I have colored it in different colors. The concept of slave and master is important in autoducking and or sidechaining in DaVinci Resolve, because the slave needs to listen to the master, and whenever the master track starts playing, it will automatically lower the volume so that the master is heard clearly. And then the master sends its signal for all the slaves to listen to, and then whenever the voiceover or the master is playing, they will adjust their volume accordingly. So let's see how to do that in DaVinci Resolve 16. First of all, we need to move to the Fairlight page, and here we are in the Fairlight page. I will extend the tracks so that we can see the waveforms better. And now if I play this video without any effect applied, this is what we have right now. I'm recording this voiceover example so you can hear it. So as you noticed, it is very hard to hear the voiceover because of the loud music and nothing is clear. So to achieve a better effect, we will work with the master first. We need to go to the mixer panel on the right and hit on E2 or the orange track, which is the master, and we have to apply the dynamics. Open the dynamics window. You would go in this box here and double click it, and the dynamics for the master track is opened. To start sending the signal from the master, we need to apply the compressor, and then since this is the master and it needs to send the signal to all of the slave tracks to listen to, we hit the send button over here. So that's all what we need to do for the master track. We can close this window, and then now we need to work with the slave tracks. We just have only one slave track, which is the music playing, and we need to also apply the compressor effect to it and then make it listen to the master signal or master volume. So go to the mixer panel, select the A1, which is, or the blue colored track, and then go to the dynamics and double click on the button. We will also apply the compressor here, as we did with the master track, but this time the slave track will have to listen to the master, so we will click the listen button. And now if I play it from, if we play it from the beginning, we shouldn't see any effect because we need to play with the threshold, the ratio, attack and hold and release. But let me just play it for now. I'm recording this voiceover example. Okay, nothing. You could see the same effect as before. Let us now do the changes. I will go and scroll the ratio to the end, and then I will lower the threshold to somewhere minus, let's leave it at minus 30. And now let us play it again. I'm recording this voiceover example. As you could notice, the sound started to lower its volume when the voiceover started playing. To hear that more clearly, I will hit on the S button of the slave track so that we can just hear the music playing without the voiceover. Let me click it, and now let's play it from the beginning. Right there you saw that in this point, when the voiceover starts, the volume of the slave track decreased significantly so that it gives space to the voiceover to be heard more loudly. But we had another problem in this part when the voiceover stops playing slightly, or we have a pause of the voiceover, the music jumped right away back to its normal value. That is where the attack, hold and release come into place. But before we do that, let me decrease the threshold even more so that the music goes almost completely off when the voiceover starts playing. I will move it to minus 50 and let me just play the slave track one more time from the beginning. And you heard it that it almost completely went off. Now if I click the S button, let us hear it with the voiceover playing. I'm recording this voiceover example so you can hear it when you know of. And I believe this time you agree that this sounds much better. Now let us fix the problem with the gaps over here when the music goes slightly up again. To do that, we have to work with the attack, the hold and the release buttons. The attack means how quickly the slave volume lowering or volume adjustment will take place whenever the voiceover starts playing. So right now we have 1.4. Any value between 0 and 10 would be good. Let us make it to 3. So we want that to take effect slowly, not very quickly. 3.2 is good. Now the hold means that how long the volume of the slave track will stay down even when the voiceover has stopped playing or slightly has stopped playing, like in the cases over here where we have a slight pause. So we need to increase this hold value to make sure that the volume doesn't go immediately up whenever the voiceover stops playing for a second or two. So I will increase this significantly. Let us make it, we will make it somewhere to 1200, and let me play the track now from the point where the voiceover starts playing. I'm recording this voiceover example so you can hear it when no auto-ducking or sidechaining is applied, and then as you heard, it stayed down in this gap over here, but since this other gap is longer, the volume of the slave track went up for a slight period of time, and then it went down again when the voiceover started playing. It means that we need to increase the hold. I will increase it to 4000 up till the end. And finally, the release is we can say it's the opposite of the attack, because the release defines how quickly it will go from the low volume point to the upper volume point when the voiceover stops playing. So when the voiceover is finished, it takes this much time to go from the low point of the volume to the upper point of the volume to the normal back again. So we would like this to go gradually and slowly. That's why we need to increase the release value to, I would increase it to, well, let us move it to the end, 4000 milliseconds, so that we can more clearly see the effect. And now since we've done everything that is required, I will play it from the beginning till the end when the voiceover ends, so that you can see the full effect of the compressor on the slave track. I'm recording this voiceover example so you can hear it when no auto-ducking or sidechaining is applied, and then the difference when auto-ducking or sidechaining is applied. Well, obviously the values of release and hold are very big. I will lower them so that we can listen to it more. We can notice the effect, the sidechaining or auto-ducking effect more clearly. I'll move this to this value, doesn't matter, and the release, move it to somewhere like this, and let me play the track from the beginning again. I'm recording this voiceover example so you can hear it when no auto-ducking or sidechaining is applied, and then the difference when auto-ducking or sidechaining is applied. So that's it. I believe you understood what auto-ducking or sidechaining is, and you learned how to do that and play with it in DaVinci Resolve. See you next time. Bye.